Yo, bit of Gran Turismo 5 on the PS3. So it should be a decent little title. Let me just see if I need to do something about HDCP. 1 second. The screen doesn't come back. I might need to. Let's come back. Hmm. I I'm probably not going to get a wheel for the PS3. It's just too much shit knocking around. Unless I get one that definitely covers the PS3 and the PS4, then maybe I will. Um, no, no. Now that data time, I mean, it's running off the hard drive, so the idea of reinstalling another 8 GB seems a bit much to me. I don't know. I don't know what read speed it has on the hard when it's on the hard drive. Um, this was like a very well regarded title back in the day. Um, 2011, I presume it would have been around, roughly around about that year. Is there the Nordschleifer? Grand Valley Speedway? Right, so these are like the drivers that drove these vehicles at the time. Okay, that would be pretty cool. I didn't know it was called the Skyline GTR. I just thought it was the GTR. Is that the the Supra? That will be fucking quick, won't it? Too quick. Go for automatic. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, this is more simmy than arcade, even though I'm in the arcade mode. Apparently, I don't know. Gran Turismo was always raved about as one of the console exclusives that is worth getting a PS3 for. I think The Last of Us was a superb game as well as another exclusive. I mean, people act like Xbox didn't have exclusives. I mean, Xbox definitely did have exclusives. And some of them, like Halo, were just... I would not have been interested in... I'm not interested in swapping anything for Halo, do you know what I mean? Halo was an awesome experience back in the day. I just got completely lost in that game. Long loading time, isn't it? It's good so far. I mean, this is a 4K TV, 55 inch, so like that's hell of a lot bigger than... I don't know what the controls are. That's a lot bigger than like cameras. Lost it. Oh, there we go. take that. Oh, I think it's come off actually. That's obviously was the button in right. So right thumbstick click is wiper. So what X is? Presumably that's handbrake to try. Right. Fucking titles. Not giving you like what the controls are is ridiculous. Like, there was nothing in that main menu that said tutorial, so I was like, okay, I'll jump into arcade mode because that's most likely to then have the necessary tutorial. Fucking bollocks. It annoys me. To test this handbrake out, see if it is. Monsieur. Feels like the way that Assetto Corsa loads up, or BeamNG, it just feels a bit more getting its shit together rather than just jumping in and adding stuff. It's like, let's get it all loaded up. Physics models, car, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels a bit like that. The Supra is fucking cool, isn't it? Saw one at the Toyota dealer, I can't remember what I was after. They're not crazy expensive for, like, obviously not for a race like spec'd up Supra. I mean that is expensive, but for just an on the road Supra, easily under 30,000, and they're alright actually. And I don't like the rest of Toyota's sporty looking cars. I never really have done, to be fair. And I don't really like the Supra, to be honest. I don't find it that attractive as a car. I find it fairly generic looking, really. So I couldn't identify a Supra from anything else. Something's happened to me since I've changed to that wheel. I've been loving first-person modes and racing. Like, as long as you've got all the, you know what I mean, as long as you've got knowledge of the track, or you've got the brake markers to tell you when to brake, it can be a real pleasure in first-person mode. No, I don't have knowledge of the track. I have more faith in this. I'm like, I was really spoiled in F1 22. I think it was 22. With like the dynamic lines, so you get the race lines, but the whole line goes red if you're over speed, and it goes green when you're back. You know, you need to be back on the throttle, which was quite cool. It was quite dynamic like that. Seems like the accelerator is. Sensitive, which is cool. So how do we change? It wasn't left click, was it? Select button it is. At least I'm muscled through the controls, and I've got a feel for how this game's going to work, and it seems to work fairly okay. And I could be wrong. This could have been at the tail end of the console cycle, so it's not really a fair comparison. In my mind, the best sort of racing title on the Xbox 360 was Project Gotham Racing 4. I mean, don't get me wrong, the best title in my mind is PGR3, but PGR4 is better because for most people, like for me personally, I don't know. I've had more time multiplayer, local multiplayer at uni with mates than on PGR3 than I did PGR4. But PGR4, because I think then it was quite a while later, like 5 years later or something, that I got my own Xbox 360, and at that stage I got PGR4. I just skipped out PGR3, and then I later went back and got PGR3 because I was just like, oh yeah, God, it was brilliant. So I did complete a lot of PGR4, but nowhere near as much. Right. Anyway, drifted off there. This just blows PGR 3 or 4 out of the water, I think. Now, some people at the time might have gone on about Forza Horizon. I never really, I did. In fairness, I never got into technical races. I was much more arcadey racing. Only now am I a bit more technical racing. It's a lot. It's a different enjoyment, I think. Obviously, it's a different sort of skill set and what you want from the title. I wish it would down change to second when it's on the grass, because there's no reason why it couldn't. Most race cars with barely any time in first. Oh, okay, so it's not a drifter, is it? All 80s Atari soundtrack thing. It looks alright to me. All of that looks fairly decent. You know, I've not had an overheat warning yet or anything like that, which is good news. I don't think many people think about it. I don't think many people would have the necessary firmware to be able to get that sort of information off the console. Oh, I don't want a single race, I want. No. I'm just a bit miffed about this installation business, really. It's already on the hard drive and then reinstalling it. It would actually be better for me to put the disc in the, if the drive worked. But I could put the disc in the drive and then have it installed, and it'd actually take up less space maybe. Anyway, so what am I doing? GT Life. What's an A spec? What's a B spec? Oh, here we go. Here we've got practice and dealerships and stuff. A level 0. What's a Tesla? When did this game come out? Oh fuck, I remember the Roadster. Jesus Christ, that's going back in time, isn't it? Fucking hell. It's a level 7, that. Oh my god, 2008, that car. God, you don't see them about. I haven't seen one of those run for a long, long time. Was it the Smart? Did Tesla buy it off the Smart? Because that looks like a Smart Roadster to me, although maybe not, maybe it's not. Maybe a Roadster looks like a Roadster. So what would be a level 0 car then? Probably a Ford or a Vauxhall or an Opel or whatever they call it. Okay. Have they got Opel in here? Or a Citroen. That's not even level 0, that's a level 1. Level 0. Oh god, I see it. That's level 1, that's level 1. Level 2. Level 6. I don't know, Isuzu does any premium. Oh, they've got one in there. Could be a Peugeot, isn't it? Level 0. No. I mean, let's just click on the 207. I don't really want a 207. I mean, alright, here we go. Fucking shitting me, the racing carts. It's fucking bullshit, isn't it? Why am I having one of those? Where's my... Oh, you're fucking joking. Why show me that stuff then? Why show it me if I can't install it? Dumb shit. Well, they're not dumb, are they? That's why they show you. Like Sky used to do that. Oh, I don't know if they still do. Cars of this make. Cars of what make? What is that? What have I done? How do I get rubber finger pads? This controller, I got it with a half-built arcade machine. You're now using this car. And I can't remember how to take it apart for some reason. You required... Okay. And my god, that was hard work. Taking it apart, and worse than that, I was putting it back together. Oh my god. Oh, it took me ages to get all the buttons right and everything. I'm surprised the damn thing works really well. And then I just put it in a drawer. If you want to improve your driving skills, nice. Not really expecting to use it ever again. So it's really nice to have found it when I needed it. Oh god. I need to create some drivers. Allows you to become the driver, get behind the wheel and racing your way up the ranks. Let's do the Sunday Cup. motorsport at that level was so all throughout. Motorsport is really, like, some people just lose a fortune on it, really. You know what I mean? 6 figures every year. They do it for the love of it. And really wealthy people lose a hell of a lot more participating in motorsport, in sort of like right through to like almost full-time pro racing levels. You know what I mean? Can lose a lot more. Constantly seeking for sponsorship. The thing is, there's not really such thing as investment in motorsport. It's just a money pit. Like, oh god, those brakes were a bit tighter than the old. What else in the Super? Sorry, when I say tighter, not as good. Is that a 207 or something like that? Let's say 5 plus a second. I thought I was on a fixed penalty then. It's alright, this title. You can't look around this cockpit with the right thumbstick, which is a shame. But then again, I've not had that in many games, or at least in this gen. It was like look left and you just get a straight to a view out of the left window. There's only modern games that you can start to like smoothly look around the cockpit of the car. It was pretty cool. Through. Yeah. I think it's such a dated title. I'm not going to really try and progress it through the ranks. I just, just have a little fiddle with it, really. Get a feel for it. I say it's dated. Not a lot wrong with it right now, from my perspective. How many races are we doing on this same circuit? Really need to get that over the waistline because I'm starting to speed in this thing. Right, this is where I find out. So I just click to do the same race again. Unlock a level 1, can't I? Oh, okay, alright. So that was... So I need to exit then, basically. Like the Fiat Punto Abarth fucking thing. I don't know. I remember friends of the family having a Punto back in the mid-90s, and that thing was fucking tiny. Oh no, it wasn't a Punto, it was a Panda. It was an incredibly small car. I'd love to get hold of one of those, actually. I'd love to get hold of a really tiny car. I'm going to look for one on Auto Trader. Put a roll cage in it, and all of that. Get it on a trailer. Save it for track days. Actually, I knew somebody who had a... Oh, it was a Citroen Saxo. The trailer and stuff. See out my window. There's just no moving head around. Why people raved about Gran Turismo. It's got everything you need, really. I mean, to me, the benchmark for where I'm at is Assetto Corsa. And this screen looks so similar. I don't know if it's the same developers or what, same publisher, individuals that work on it. Yeah, it's got that definite comfort for me. It's nice that you've got analog, because some of the PS3 games just don't care about it. They treat the analog triggers as being like digital inputs. Oh, there's only 2 laps. bit weird, like way of doing things, really. Yeah, the controller's not that nice, really. My hand's cramped up a few times because it's like baby size, really, this controller. Why is it so fucking tiny? That's what I don't get, because it really is small compared to an Xbox controller. Such much more of a comfortable grip in that. Now, I think there are some things that you can buy that. In fact, I might look into that, because if I can just convert my 360 controllers even. I prefer to convert my Xbox One controller though. My hands like that is just built for my hands. That the 360 controllers are not that great now that I've used the Xbox One stuff because they're slippery and smooth and not not as responsive with the buttons. Whereas the Xbox Series and Xbox One are brilliant. This may have crashed. I'm getting the feeling. I mean, if it's installing, okay, but it's not moving or doing anything at the moment. Oh, oh, I think it has crashed because even the PlayStation button's not responding on it. Well, all right. Well, that concludes my session on Gran Turismo 5. Fucking hell. um, I really think, yeah, that has crashed as well. So there we have it. Gutted. Didn't get to finish that first cup. In a bit.